A pleasant day to each and every one. I am Jennifer Lopez, together with my team Carlos Leamas III and Angelo Uy from the Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development. We'll be sharing with you some inputs on the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers, and we'll highlight its contribution as well in the Sulong Educalidad program of the Department of Education. On K-12 Improving Teacher Engagement, the Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development commits to aid the implementation of relevant, responsive, and inclusive curriculum through the following interventions. On Teacher Quality and Development Program, we envision that by 2022, all 37 indicators in the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers have been utilized and served as basis for properly and objectively assessing teachers' performance. Furthermore, all teachers are assessed and assigned in the appropriate career stages to provide professional development interventions to move from one career stage to another. In addition, with regard to teachers' upskilling and reskilling, the bureaus shall also develop and implement fair and reasonable career development opportunities. Among others, it includes the career progression strategy for teachers and school leaders, the merit selection plan, and the enhanced hiring and promotion policy, all of which are anchored on the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers and school leaders. In the next slide, you'll see how OECD, or the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, stresses the quality of an education system cannot exceed the quality of its teachers. The McKinsey survey of education system across 50 countries noted that it had never seen an education system achieve world-class status without top talent in its teaching profession. Teachers count in affecting education quality. The quality of our teachers is on the education agenda of governments across the world, with the vitally important role a teacher plays in a child's education. It should come as no surprise that training excellent teachers is a top priority for the Department of Education. The reasons to improve teacher education are clear. The quality of our teaching and quality of our teachers is seen as one of the important, if not most important, determinants affecting education performance. Other factors such as school autonomy, a rigorous curriculum, and engaging parents in their child's education also contribute. But what goes on in the classroom, how and what our students are taught, probably matters most. Therefore, the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers will serve as the new framework for teacher quality and teacher development. With the PPST, the teacher education institutions are expected to train teachers to become beginning teachers ready for entry in the teaching profession. Proficient career stage is the minimum requirement now in the teaching profession as we go along. Unlike beginning teachers who need support from more experienced colleagues, at this stage, proficient teachers are expected to already independently apply teaching principles and strategies, essential teaching skills that are vital to the teaching and learning process. Therefore, teachers are expected to be proficient with 3 years upon entry in the teaching profession with the help and support of the Department of Education through the National Educators Academy of the Philippines. So, the arrows from higher career stages pointing to the lower career stages indicates support given by colleagues with higher career stages to those with lower career stages. The idea of complementation instead of competition is the one to be highlighted here. The classroom observation tools and the self-assessment tools are to be used to better target professional development and training. The other important features of the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers are presented in the next slide. And this slide intends to show the general characteristics of the Philippine professional standards for teachers. Internationally, teacher quality is articulated in professional standards for teachers. We know this from our own school experiences. A good teacher made a difference. It is also what the Philippines and international research evidence overwhelmingly tells us. The professional standards is a public statement of accountability. That is, it brings out the prestige to teaching profession. At this point, the story of mag-teacher ka na lang is usually shared to the public. With the professional standards, the mindset of mag-teacher ka na lang will be changed. Hopefully, the question of kaya mo bang maging teacher? And there is evidence that our teacher education system is not up to scratch. We are not attracting the top students into teacher courses as we once did. Courses are too theoretical, ideological, and faddish, not based on the evidence of what works in teaching important subjects such as literacy. Sometimes standards are too low at some education institutions wherein everyone passes. Also, there are not enough teachers with education standards and content knowledge to teach effectively in key areas such as mathematics and sciences and even literacy. The Philippine professional standards for teachers therefore makes clear or makes explicit what teachers should know, be able to do, and value in the profession. This is sufficiently generic as well to represent practice across grade levels and subject areas. Sufficiently generic means that the professional standards can be used regardless of the specialization and grade or year level. Interestingly, please also take note in this last slide that the PPST captures teacher quality requirements in the K-12. Among others, the PPST gives a focus on mother tongue to facilitate the teaching and learning. Learners in difficult circumstances. We're currently experiencing the pandemic now, and PPST already anticipated that. The strategies for promoting literacy and numeracy, even the positive use of ICT, which is very much applicable also now in the distance learning modality. And the last one, the classroom communication strategies. For more details of the Philippine professional standards for teachers, let me turn you over to my teammates for more discussion on this. Thank you.
You are now seeing on your screen the 7 domains of the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers, which you have already seen on our first video. And take note that domain number 1, content, knowledge, and pedagogy, is central to the K-12 reform and places at the beginning the importance of teachers knowing their content and knowing how to teach it. Now, on the succeeding slides, you can see again the 7 domains of the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers and the corresponding strands under each domain. So on your screen now is domain number 1 with 7 strands, domain number 2 with 6 strands, domain 3 with 5 strands, domain 4 with 5 strands, domain 5 with 5 strands, domain 6 with 4 strands, and domain 7 with 5 strands. Now on this screen, you can see the qualities that are expected of teachers based on the domains of the PPST. The colored circles, which are colored blue, are the qualities based on the 7 domains of PPST. The things that are written in the green colored rectangles are some of the unique features of some of the domains of the PPST. As you have seen on the previous video, again, there are 4 career stages of the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers, starting with beginning teachers, proficient teachers, highly proficient teachers, and the distinguished teachers. Now, as flashed on your screen, you can see the career stage continuum in relation to the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. This illustration actually explains that one must exhibit the beginning level of practice in all 37 indicators. And this is also true for the other three career stages. But a teacher is not actually boxed in a career stage because he or she may exhibit majority of his or her practice in indicators for the beginning career stage, but may exhibit proficient or even highly proficient of teaching practice on some indicators. Now, why are career stages important? These career stages are actually providing us a framework for the teacher development continuum. And this is very important for the career progression of teachers. And teacher evaluation should be based on the professional teaching standards and should be sophisticated enough to assess teaching quality across the continuum of development from novice to expert teacher. Undersecretary Jesus Mateo also emphasized the importance of the Philippine professional standards for teachers because based from him, this policy is based on the international standards for teachers and will be used to tell the teacher education institutions through the Commission on Higher Education if they can look into the pre-service curriculum to ensure that what is being taught to future teachers would be aligned with what the system needs. Now, let's proceed to the teacher assessment based on the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. In school year 2018-2019, we have started launching the PPST aligned results-based performance management system or RPMS in the Department of Education. So we started with aligning the results-based performance management system to the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. And as you can see in the slide, we have developed PPST-based RPMS support materials. In school year 2018-2019, we introduced the first 12 of the 37 indicators of the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. And last school year 2019-2020, we have repeated the same 12 indicators. In the coming school year 2020-2021, we'll be introducing the next 12 indicators. And in school year 2021-2022 are the remaining PPST indicators. And again, this PPST-aligned RPMS is implemented in the field following these selected priority indicators. So for example, in RPMS Year 1 in school year 2018-2019 and in the repeat in school year 2019-2020, we have the domains of PPST laid out into 5 KRAs. And these are the indicators, the first 12 PPST indicators for RPMS Year 1. In RPMS of Year 2, which will happen in school year 2020-2021, again, the domains of the PPST are laid out into 5 key result areas in the RPMS. And these are some of the next 12 PPST indicators for RPMS Year 2. Now, for Year 3, in school year 2021-2022, again, the domains of PPST are laid out into 5 key result areas. And these are some of the indicators for RPMS Year 3. Now, since I was not able to have an opportunity to discuss each of the indicators I have mentioned, so you may just access the PPST resource package at the links flashed on the screen to know more about the PPST indicator. So currently we have 24 modules of the PPST resource package corresponding to the 24 indicators out of the total 37.
Why shall PPST be the basis of PD for teachers? In the 1987 Philippine Constitution, Article 14, Section 5, Paragraph 4, the state shall enhance the right of the teachers to professional advancement. Non-teaching academic and non-academic personnel shall enjoy the protection of the state. Also, in Deped Order 42, Series 2017, specifically in Paragraph 5, it states that the PPST shall be used as basis for all learning and development programs for teachers to ensure that teachers are properly equipped to efficiently implement the K-12 program. It can also be used for the selection and promotion of teachers. All performance appraisal for teachers shall be based on this set of standards. So it can be seen in DepEd Order number 11, Series 2019 in the NAIAP transformation, paragraph 3. It says, whereas the NAIAP transformation shall facilitate the operationalization of the Philippine professional standards for teachers and the similar standards for school leaders, thereby enhancing the system-wide quality of professional practice in education, effectively support the K-12 initiatives, and radically improve the learning outcomes of learners. Recently, in DepEd Order number 1, Series 2020, enclosure of the guidelines for NAIAP recognition of professional development programs and courses for teachers and school heads. On the policy statement, paragraph 16, it says that the NAIAP, DepEd, Central Office, Bureaus and Services, and Regional Offices shall agree on the periodic 3-year professional development priorities, informed by institutional data, document review, competency assessment, research, strategic alignment, merging trends and stakeholders' input. These priorities shall be matched with the corresponding domains, strands, and indicators of the PPST, PPSSH, and PPSS. Combined, these shall constitute the 3-year professional development priorities of the period. And the DepEd Memorandum 50, Series 2020, or the DepEd Professional Development Priorities for Teachers and School Heads for school year 2020 until 2023. The 3-year PD priorities shall be drawn from the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. In connection to what Yusek Mateo said, the TIs should produce teachers who are aligned to what DepEd needs. This slide will show us the path of a DepEd teacher. First, teachers are hired in DepEd through the PPST. Second, while they are in DepEd, they will be assessed through the RPMS PPST. Third, once a head of office sees that a teacher needs an intervention, perhaps to bridge a gap of performance or enhance the strength to become better, that teacher will be subjected for L&D, and that is when NAIAP comes in. Fourth, as the effect of NAIAP intervention, we can now help teachers to be promoted and eventually be rewarded. To give you an image, the promotion and assessment criteria looks like this. There is 30% education, training, and experience, and 70% will be for the evaluative assessment. For the 30%, we give 10% premium to training. But this 10% for the training has a very big impact to the 70% evaluative assessment. For those trainings that a teacher have had with NAIAP would help every teacher perform better in the IPCRF, which is 30%, and be able to exhibit exemplary teaching practice for the 25% classroom observation strand, and be able to model a practice on the non-classroom observable strand. Because of NAIAP's intervention, teachers can now translate their trainings into performance. Since teachers are now performing, we can help them go up in the career ladder and be able to bring them to become a distinguished teacher. With this, we will be assured that no more teacher will retire as Teacher 1. Teachers, on the other hand, will be more focused on things that they will do. They should just align your performance to that of the PPST, develop your teaching experience, complete NAIAP professional development programs, have yourself assessed, and be reclassified according to your proficiency level. The institutionalization of PPST is anchored to these 3 things that matter most in top schools. First is getting the right person to become teachers. Second, develop them into effective instructors. Basically, in developing teachers to become effective instructors, we need to develop them according to the set of standards where they are expected to. Number 3, ensuring that the system is able to deliver the best possible instruction for every child. In the school system, it is not just enough that we're going to provide the physical environment for learners, but also providing them the best instruction through our teachers. We can develop learners in the best way possible that we can.